Hey everybody, it's opening day at Nationals Park. In this video, the Nationals are taking on the Miami Marlins. Both have 0-0 records. Now, the Nationals last season had 95 wins and finished in first place in the NL East. And the Marlins last season were met with some tragedy. They finished up with 79 wins last season, which was good for third place. But as you probably know, they lost their ace, Jose Fernandez. So, mostly going to talk about the Nationals in this game. Since it's their home game, we've got Steven Strasburg on the mound. He's a beast. You all know that already. He's got nasty, filthy stuff. He strikes out D. Gordon, strikes out Ozuna. Last season, he had 183 Ks and only 147 innings. And it looks like Christian Yelich is going to get a hit here. So, Christian Yelich with a double. The good thing is there's 2 outs, so Strasburg can get out of this. Here's Stanton, and Stanton goes down swinging, but the ball bounces away. Nice play there by the catcher, Matt Wieters. He's the big addition to the Nationals this year. You might remember him from his 3 All-Star seasons with the Baltimore Orioles. So Wieters doesn't have to probably even sell his house because D.C. and Baltimore are not that too far away from each other. All right, so here we go. Trey Turner is leading off for the Nationals, and what a player he's going to be. He was outstanding last year, hitting .342, 13 home runs, 33 steals, and that was basically in only a half season. So I'll be really interested to see what Trey Turner can offer with a full season. Here's Jason Worth. Worth is batting second in the lineup. I just kind of left the lineup they had there. And he gets a base hit. Now, I could see Adam Eaton possibly sliding into the 2-hole. The only problem is if you put Eaton in the second spot, you've got Eaton, and then you've got Daniel Murphy, who just grounded into an inning-ending double play. And then you have Bryce Harper. So that's 3 lefties in a row. I can see why Dusty Baker doesn't want to do that, but Adam Eaton is batting 8th this game. I don't know. I really can't justify giving up what the Nationals gave the Chicago White Sox for Adam Eaton, for an 8th place hitter. Maybe we'll talk more about him later. All right, let's talk about predictions real quick. Now, I picked the Nationals to finish first place this year in the NL East, just like last season. The Mets I have as the 2nd place team. I also have the Mets taking a wild card spot. Then I picked the Marlins to finish 3rd, Braves 4th, and Phillies 5th. I really like the Nationals lineup. Overall, if you look over their lineup from 1 through 8, every one in the lineup had double-digit home runs last year. A few of the guys hit in the 20s. Daniel Murphy had 25, Rendon had 20, Worth had 21, Harper had 24. Wieters could get you 20 easily. If Ryan Zimmerman can bounce back, he's good for 20+. Trey Turner, like I said, we don't know what we're going to get out of him, so you could potentially have like 7 guys with 20 home runs in that lineup. The rotation is pretty solid. Max Scherzer's got some kind of injury with his knuckles, so he's a little bit of a question mark, but you know what Max Scherzer can do. He won the Cy Young Award last year. Steven Strasburg, of course, is lights out filthy. Tanner Roark is really underrated. He went 16-10 with a .283 in run average last year. You saw what he did with the WBC. Gio Gonzalez needs to bounce back. Joe Ross is a little shaky, but 1, 2, and 3, if they're healthy, the Nationals are going to get the job done. And then at the back end, they've got, right now, the closer, I believe, the last time I checked, was Blake Trinan. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to last the entire season. I'm really surprised that the Nationals didn't swing a deal and get David Robertson from the White Sox. I mean, how hard would it have been to get them to throw in David Robertson? You pay all his money and everything, along with Adam Eaton. So Adam Eaton and David Robertson for all those prospects they gave up. Maybe give them an extra middle-level prospect just to shore up the end of the bullpen. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the 9th inning this season with the Nationals. But I think their offense will be good enough that they really won't have to worry too much about the closer, at least initially. Once you get into the playoffs, though, that's a whole different animal. When you watch the playoffs, you see the teams that go far, they've got lights-out bullpens, like the Indians last year, the Cubs last year. Those guys had the best closers in the game. Andrew Miller pitching basically wherever Francona needed him. Aroldis Chapman throwing 100 miles an hour. I mean, they got lights-out stuff. Is Sean Kelly going to do it in the 9th inning? Is Blake Trinan going to do it? I don't know. We'll have to see. Now, I did pick the Nationals to upset the Cubs this year. On paper, I put the Nationals facing off with the Indians in the World Series. It'll be interesting to see. Anyway, back to the gameplay here. Giancarlo Stanton goes down looking for the 2nd time. That's his 2nd strikeout. So Strasburg is starting to pile up some Ks. They've got him with a nice bushy beard here. That's pretty realistic. That's new. I don't remember him with a beard recently. The last time I saw him, he was clean shaven. I was actually at Steven Strasburg's first ever game. I think it was back in 2010, I want to say. It was against the Pirates. I'm from Pittsburgh, so it was only about a 4-hour drive down to Washington, D.C. And speaking of drives, this one might get out of here. Daniel Murphy with the home run out into the red seats. So it's a 1-0 game, scoreless tie no longer. That might be all the runs that Strasburg needs to put up a W here today. I actually had tickets to this game. The Nationals dropped some tickets for $15 in section 401 and 402. I want to say on Thursday last week, so I bought some tickets and I was going to go, but then the forecast was a little bit iffy. Like at first they were calling for 70% rain, then it kind of dropped throughout the weekend. Now it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day in D.C. with maybe some rain coming tonight after the game's over, maybe 8 p.m. or later. So I kind of missed an opportunity there. So now it looks like my first game that I'm actually going to be at in person is going to have to wait until the Pirates come back to PNC Park on Friday. And speaking of forecast, there's a bad forecast for Friday. It's like 40 degrees and rainy, so can't get any breaks. All right, well, now the Nationals have something going here. Ryan Zimmerman, the former third baseman, who has a $100 million contract, just doubled. So let's see if I can get a run home here, and it's going to happen. It's going to be 2 runs. And wait, no, 1 run. I get cut down at the plate. Zimmerman's a little bit slow. Tried to bring him around from second base, but that was a really nice throw by the center fielder out there, Ozuna. And here's Adam Eaton. By the way, Adam Eaton's batting stance just really irks me. Like, you probably couldn't tell if you weren't really watching, but he like leans way back a couple times when he's getting set. Like his back arches almost at, I don't know, 33 degrees back. It just looks really awkward. So I'm glad he's not on my Diamond Dynasty team in this game because that would kind of annoy me. Can't be comfortable. Hopefully the guy doesn't have back problems. But like I was talking about earlier, I think they gave up way too much for Adam Eaton. I think the best fit for this team, if they're looking for a center fielder, they should have gone and gotten Andrew McCutchen, because Andrew McCutchen would have fit great in their lineup. If I was the manager and I had McCutchen on this team, I would put Trey Turner first, then Murphy second, who's a lefty, then a righty, which would be McCutchen, and then Harper as the fourth and cleanup batter lefty. So you got righty, lefty, all awesome players. I think McCutchen's probably going to have a bounce back season this year. Unfortunately, though, the Nationals just couldn't put together enough to get him. I believe the Pirates wanted Victor Robles, who's one of their top prospects, along with Lucas Giolito, and they probably wanted somebody else, too, because the Pirates are pretty, I don't want to say greedy, but they look to maximize their chances in any trades. Well, it's the 6th inning now. This game is just flying by, and Giancarlo Stanton just dropped an easy fly ball, so he's having a tough game. He's struck out every time he's been up at the plate. He just dropped a fly ball. Now we have a pitching change. Here comes David Phelps. Don't really understand this because Harper's due up. Bryce Harper, the lefty, against David Phelps, the righty. So this matchup definitely favors the Nationals, and there it goes. That's a home run. It is 5-0. That might make it over the bullpen. That is way over the bullpen. Like, during batting practice, you don't see too many home runs that even clear the bullpens. Typically, a lot of the home runs at batting practice typically land in that bullpen, and it takes the big-time power hitters to put it up over the bullpen, and that was definitely like 400-plus feet. Harper with some amazing opposite field power there. It'll be really interesting to see what Bryce Harper has in store this season because, as you know, he had a down year last year. Pretty much started back, I want to say in May, when Joe Madden just would not pitch to him and walked him like 9 out of 12 at-bats in that Cubs series. And that was kind of like the point where he kind of started to trail off. He still hit 24 home runs, but that's not really what he has the potential for. I truly believe he should be hitting 40 to 50 jacks with his power. He only hit 243. Still had a nice on-base percentage with 373, but he was getting pitched around a lot. So hopefully the Nationals can provide him with some protection in the lineup, and hopefully Harper can be Harper because it's fun watching him mash all season long, unless your favorite team is playing the Nationals, of course. And there's a hit for Matt Wieters. It'll be interesting to see how he's welcomed into Washington. I bet he's going to get a pretty nice, warm welcome because a lot of these fans probably also follow the Orioles. The Orioles aren't that far away. Wieters signed a real team-friendly deal. You might recall that spring training had already started and Wieters still didn't even have a job. So I'm glad he found something, because a player of his caliber, I mean, he does have some injury concerns. He's been a little banged up over the past couple years. He had a really bad second half, and I think that really cost him some money last year. But I think he's looking to bounce back, have a big season, and get his contract and get paid. Jason Worth definitely got paid. He's got a big contract. He really doesn't do too much. He's got a lot of power, but he's kind of been in noticeable decline the past couple years. So, I mean, I love seeing Worth. He's a good player. Hopefully he can hit 30 dingers this year and get back to the player he used to be with the Phillies. I mean, it's kind of hard as you get older. The pitchers keep throwing harder and harder, and your swing gets slower and slower when you get older. So it's just the way it goes in Major League Baseball. It happens to every player. Sometimes players can find a way to bounce back for a season or two. Look at this guy. Speaking of guys that are getting older, Ichiro Suzuki. How old is he? Like 42? The guy's got like 4,000 hits between Japan and the MLB. Here he gets a triple. That's going to break up the shutout. And now it's going to be 5-1. There was nobody covering third base. I tried to throw it to third, but there was nobody there. So Strasburg, let's see if I can get him through this inning. He strikes out D. Gordon. That's going to do it. So 8 strong from D. Gordon. Here's Junichi Tozawa, who was formerly with the Red Sox, I believe. He comes in and promptly gives up a home run. So we get that run right back that Ichiro hit home there. By the way, how long do you think Ichiro is going to play? Like, is this a guy that could play until he's possibly like 50 years old, like Jamie Moyer almost did? I think Jamie Moyer made it to age 49. Guys like that, they're just intriguing. You keep rooting for guys like Bartolo Colon, R.A. Dickey, Ichiro Suzuki. You just want to see them play as long as possible. It's almost like, I don't know. Remember Julio Franco? I think that guy's still playing like minor league baseball or independent league baseball somewhere. He's probably like 60 years old, but he's still out there going. All right, let's see if the new closer can nail this down. Blake Treinen. I always mispronounce his names. It's Treinen, right? I'm not really exactly sure. Sometimes I say Treinen, sometimes I say Treinen. I think it's Treinen. And whoever he is, he just gave up a long home run to Giancarlo. Wow. Way over the bullpens, just like I was talking about. Balls up there, those are moon shots. Like when you're there for batting practice, I typically don't really hang out there too much unless there's a big lefty up there I know is going to just crank him up there. So it's 6-3. This could be the final out. Trey Turner has it, and he throws on to first, and that's the ball game. So the Nationals take this one on opening day by a final score of 6-3. Steven Strasburg gets a win. Dusty Baker gets the first win under his belt for the 2017 season. There you see the outfielders Worth and Eaton and Harper doing their little celebration. So thanks for watching, everybody. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll have more of these opening day videos and some actual in real life baseball videos from Major League Baseball stadiums soon.